swept in by Josh Karoma.
Flips this one in. Goes to the far post. Naviyama with the goal.
Hello, good evening, one and all. How are we all doing today? Happy Friday. Finally, the weekend once again. And we're back for a match preview for this game, this huge game this weekend, as we take on Sheffield Wednesday in this Yorkshire Derby, which will have some added spice to it with the situation with both clubs are in at the moment. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a game that, like I say, we're at home, so it'd be good to get back in front of our home crowd. And, you know, there'll be a lot of... There'll be a buzz tomorrow. They really will, because, listen, it's the first time for ages, that I'm actually looking forward to a game. Yes, I know we're in the situation we're in, but I'm actually looking forward to a game because you know what? I know that team steps onto that field tomorrow will give it their all. They'll go forward, they'll attack, and that's all you expect. Yeah, and look, I'm just really looking forward to the game, and it's such with all the club. Players, the fans have all been given a lift this week with the news that Darren Moore's left. Let's be real here. And, you know, it's just a huge relief. So, yeah. But anyway, before we get started, I'm going to say a few of those. But first, before I do that, obviously, we have hit 400 subscribers. Honestly, I know I kind of did a post about it on my social media, but I just want to obviously reiterate that message that I kind of put out. Obviously, thank you very, very much, everybody that has shown support, continue to show support, loved the channel. I just feel quite overwhelmed. Since I came back onto YouTube, I just feel overwhelmed with the response that I've received. I didn't expect to get the response I received after that long break that I had when I didn't think I was going to come back. But the fact that I feel like I'm as motivated as ever to do content. I'm enjoying it again. You know, obviously, like I said, I've kind of spoken about this before, but the reason I left YouTube is because I just fallen out of love with the platform and I wasn't really enjoying putting out content. So, yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how, you know, it's gone so far. I didn't, but yeah, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for your continued support. It means a lot to me. And yeah, like I say, next target now is 500 subscribers, which feels strange saying so, but yeah, we're on the road to that now, of course. But yeah, big up to you all, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, we'll go into the comments now before we get started on the show. Joseph saying hello to you, mate. Thank you for tuning in as always. Big up. Aiden's in as always. Hello, mate. He says, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm not doing so badly. Thanks. Hope you're well too. And thank you, as always, for coming in tonight. All the regulars always come into this channel, and it just means a lot to me. I must be doing something right. George is in. Big up to you. He said, big up, Ryan. He says, big up, George. Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. A must-win game. I mean, yeah. How many times have we said that recently? But of course, we do go into this game without the biggest problem that was creating the downfall of results, let's be honest. So, yeah, we've got a chance tomorrow, a real chance. But yeah, I'll be expecting a reaction from the players, to be honest. First of all, we have to talk about the positivity on the training video. You just see everyone smiling. Wow, just wow. And yeah, look, we're going to get into it. And you're absolutely right. And you kind of took the words out of my mouth, Aiden, to be honest with you. Look, we've seen, obviously, since Worthington's took over temporarily, the smiles back on those players' faces. How refreshing and how lovely is it to see? It's like a weight has been lifted off their shoulders. And they've been given the freedom to play their football again, how they know they can. And, you know, we saw this with when Fotheringham left and then Neil Warnock came in. We saw the instant reaction on that training ground where the difference in moods between when Fotheringham was there and when Warnock arrived was there was no comparison. Big smiles on the face, enjoying training. Okay, you need to work hard in training, of course you do, and you don't want to enjoy it too much, but you still need to enjoy it to some degree. And it's just so nice to see the players happy again, essentially. And that's what I was talking about earlier, the lift that it's given everybody at the club. With the decision about the managerial change, it's just so positive, isn't it? So, look, it is. It's amazing to see. But thank you for sharing that with us, Aidan. But yeah, we are going to get into. I'm going to do things a bit differently tonight, guys. Obviously, it's a bit of a trial. Instead of me kind of going through the quotes of the press conference, I'm actually going to just kind of put some clips up in sections, and we're going to kind of speak about each section in the clips. But I think it's just a trial to see how it goes, because obviously I always usually just get the quotes in front of me here and kind of just read them. But I think sometimes I can miss things. Obviously, it's just good to kind of recap. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's watched the press conference today with Worthington, and obviously Pearson was the player that was that was in front of the media today. So I'm going to obviously do it that way today in terms of, just refresh our memories of the press conference earlier and kind of just talk about what was said in it, really. But obviously, as we always do, we do talk about our opposition first. You know how it works. And our opposition tomorrow is Sheffield Wednesday, as I said earlier. Obviously it's a rivalry, obviously Yorkshire Derby. We haven't played them in a couple of years, actually. The last meeting was in 2020, where we actually managed to beat them 2-0 in the championship. We're actually unbeaten 4 meetings in all competitions with Sheffield Wednesday. So our record with Sheffield Wednesday is actually quite good. If you want to go deeper into the stats, we've won 27 times. Wednesday's 21, 16 draws. Obviously, that's the record we have against them. Obviously, it's 5 years since the South Yorkshire side last tasted victory here in Huddersfield. Obviously, we'll be looking to extend our that run for them on Saturday afternoon. But opposition then. So Sheffield Wednesday, without winning 3 games, they did kind of find a bit of momentum, didn't they? But they've kind of slowed off again. I think it's been hugely improved under their manager, Danny Rawle, who we will get into in a moment. So he took the reins at Hillsborough, with the side having gone 11 games without a win prior to his arrival. So there has been a reaction there from their point of view. But obviously, they are still in the relegation zone, unfortunately for them. Obviously, they were promoted from League One via the playoffs last season. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday held us to a goalless draw in our first meeting this season in South Yorkshire, if you remember. Obviously, with us unable to break down a very stubborn Wednesday defence. Doing several deals across the month to strengthen as they look to retain their Sky Bet Championship stage this campaign. So they signed, they've obviously tried to strengthen in January. They'll be looking to come here and get 3 points. But we'll have something to say about that, let me tell you. But obviously, it's a big game, this, in terms of the table, as I said earlier. The difference between winning and losing here is huge. We need to try and get that gap increased. But if we lose, then the gap will obviously decrease. So it's huge. This is huge, this game. And it's one of those where we have to just get behind And actually, I've forgotten to put my... There we are. I've just changed the audio. I'd actually forgotten to turn my mic on, guys. But yeah, I was actually talking through the iPad. But yeah, I've got my headset on now, so you should be able to hear me a bit more clearly. Apologies for that, but we are all right now. But yeah, the manager, as I said, is Danny Röhl, obviously German coach. He came to the club back in October, so he's not been in long, has he? He's only been in a few months. Obviously 34 years of age. His first match when he came in was a 1-0 away loss to Watford. In total, he has had 6 wins in 17 championship games, drawing just twice in that time. Having taken just 3 points in the 11 games before his arrival, his side now 5 points away from climbing out of the bottom 3. Obviously, Town, the side they're looking to catch. But yeah, a defender in his playing days was Danny Röhl. Prior to joining Wednesday, he had positions with the likes of RB Leipzig, Southampton, Bayern Munich, and the German national side too. So yeah, I think he's done great since he's coming, to be fair. Danny Röhl, I think he's obviously relatively unknown, I would say, but it's similar to how we kind of, with David Wagner with us. Obviously, we got him from Germany too, and kind of not a person that anyone has ever heard of, but he's actually doing quite well. Obviously, he will I don't know if he'll be defined by if they stay up or not, because obviously when he came in, it's a difficult situation, but he still was in early enough to be able to turn it around. So I think if they do go down, I think they probably will still stick with him. But I suppose it depends what happens from now until the season in terms of performances for them. But yeah, Danny Röhl, I think he's a good manager, and yeah, I think he's doing the best he can with what he's got at the moment. Now, last time out for Wednesday, they actually was in action midweek, which will not play any part in it because it will be more fresher. The fact that we haven't played midweek, obviously they played Watford on Wednesday, didn't they? I know it was at home, but they still played an extra game this week. And that obviously finished 0-0. In that game, obviously they were kind of on top for the majority of the game, but they just couldn't break down Watford. They just couldn't break Watford down, really. They had 60% of the ball, 19 shots in total, with 5 of those being on target. And obviously, Röhl did come out after the game and said that his side did deserve to win, but you don't always get what you deserve, and you have to actually finish the chances. I think that's been a big issue for us as well, isn't it? Finishing those chances. Although we haven't really been on the front foot enough to be able to get enough chances to score. So, yeah, with us, it's been more about the way we've been, the playing style that's been implemented. But yeah. Now, their previous starting 11, we will go through that. Beadle was in goal for them. Valentin, Bernard, Femeo, Johnson, Palmer, obviously Barry Bannon, who is a familiar name, Anthony Masaba, Josh Windass, Gesama, and Ugbo. They played 4-2-3-1. Now, I think the thing is with Sheffield Wednesday is they seem to switch a lot with formation, so you never know what they're going to actually do in terms of the shape of the team. They have been switching it constantly this season, well, since Danny Röhl came in anyway. But yeah, like I said, the formation has been pretty fluid. 7 different systems actually Danny Röhl's actually implemented since he's come in. So obviously the way he likes to play, obviously, it's still the same philosophy despite the different kind of systems that they play. So the press, looking to keep hold of the ball, obviously, try and keep in obviously the opposition's final third. One recent theme as well has been like the utilization of the back four for them. Obviously, with back three not seen since November. So they like that. He seems to like the back four, which is interesting. Their last 4 Sky Bet Championship outings have seen them line up in a 4-2-3-1. So you're thinking to yourself, probably will go with that against more that system. They will go with the recruitment across January. Kind of seems to fit either that system or a 4-3-3. But I can't see them going 4-3-3, especially away from home. So I think they'll probably go for a 4-2-3-1. And they've used that 4-3-3 5 times in their last 10 games. So let's have a look at the stats for Sheffield. Like I say, I did the stats on those, so I'm not going to cover us again. But their stats, if anybody loves a stat, then here we have them. So it's average that they score 0.76 per game. So that is very poor, which is probably, that explains why they're down there with us. They concede on average per game 1.59 goals, which is poor. That is very poor indeed. Now, if you look at their away form as well, they've only won 2 on the road all season, drawing 1 and losing 11. So their away form is extremely poor. They're not much better at home, to be fair. Obviously, they've only managed to win 4 games at home, so they've only managed to get an extra 2 wins there. But they have lost less at home, and they've drawn more at home. So, yeah, their away form doesn't seem to, if you look at them stats, you kind of think to yourself, it doesn't really encourage a positive result for them tomorrow. But they are up against a side, that have been struggling, but we have also obviously had a lift recently as well. So, but yeah, we are going to go into the ones to watch very soon, but I'm going to just catch up the comments. Aiden's just put plays to look out for. You've gone for your plays. We'll do those in a minute, Aiden. I'll get those in a minute, but I'm going to do mine first, as we always do. And then, yeah. So my first one has to be the goalkeeper for Sheffield Wednesday, and that's James Beadle, who obviously was signed this month from Brighton. Obviously 19 years of age, very young. Obviously he's capped at England Youth International. He's capped at England Youth level from under 15 right through to under 20. His career obviously started the season on loan with Oxford, actually. And then he was recalled by his parents' side before going back out with Wednesday. He made his debut on the 20th of January, so that was pretty recent, to be fair, but he seems to have really made that position his own in a short space of time. He has started the 2 consecutive games for his new side after watching on from the bench in his first. It would be a surprise to not see him in the goal tomorrow. So, yeah, look, I think he is a player that is a very good, clearly is a very top talent at that age to be coming in and making an impact pretty much straight away. Speaks volumes of the character that he has and the quality that he has too. So I think he's a good keeper, and we're going to have to test him a lot, and I'm sure we will. But I do feel like, obviously, we are going to have to. I don't think he's one for making mistakes. So I think it will have to be a good effort to get past him tomorrow. But yeah, obviously, that's my first player that I think we should look out for. My second name has to be, obviously, he's on my list every single time we play Sheffield Wednesday. Not that we've played him recently, but whenever we have done, I've always mentioned this guy's name, and that's Barry Bannon. See, very experienced player. He's actually approaching nearly 10 years with Sheffield Wednesday. So, he signed in 2015 from Crystal Palace. So, a product of the Aston Villa Academy after moving to England from Celtic at age just 14 years of age. He's a very technical player, isn't he? And he's a very creative central midfielder. So, a dangerous left foot, his greatest weapon, arguably. And whilst he's also able to operate from out wide, Bannon he seems to drop a little deeper now, obviously often operating from one of the 2 holding roles that Wednesday like to play. He's captain, of course. He's the captain. He's kind of a go-to player for the Owls, really, isn't he? He's a go-to player. He's a great player to have in the squad, that's for sure. Because his teammates always looking to pass him the ball to connect defence and attack more often than not as well. So look, we know the quality that Bannon has, and we have to kind of stop that threat from him somehow and not give him space to work with, because if you give him space, he will punish you. So yeah, that's my second player, because he does have a lot of quality, and he's been there, seen it, and done it, as they say. So he's definitely a name on my list that I'm keeping my eye on tomorrow. The final player is Anthony Mesaba, who is a Dutch winger. He was signed permanently in the summer from Monaco. For an undisclosed fee. He began his career with Nijmegen in his native Netherlands. He's just turned 23 just in December, so not so long ago. He's a very attack-minded player. He's been a big success in the Championship. He's scored 4 goals, assisting twice in 26 outings. Total 7 goal contributions in 30 total appearances in all competitions this season. He has started all but 3 times this campaign and has been ever present in roles starting sides. So expect to see him definitely in that starting 11 tomorrow. Make no question. Another one that's obviously an international for the Netherlands under 21 side. So he can operate from either wing, and often he swaps sides within a game. So watch out for that as well. Like I said, very tricky winger, very quick, pacey, and causes a lot of problems. So whoever's going to be up against him, like I say, most likely Ben Jackson, Brodie Spencer, they're going to have either of them, because like I say, he does switch sides throughout a game sometimes. So both of them may have to deal with him at some point. But yeah, a really tricky customer, and he's going to be one for me that I'll be looking at closely tomorrow. So Aidan, let's get on to yours players to watch then. So you've gone for Barry Bannon. Josh Windass is another one I didn't mention. Yeah, he's a good player. He's Josh. Ugbo as well. You've gone for Bailey, Ty, Kadamatre, and Malik Wilkes. Yeah, so you've gone for more than 3, Aidan, but that's fine. Don't worry. But yeah, obviously Kadamatre is a good player. I'm not quite sure about Ugbo. I don't think I've seen much of him. And Malik Wilkes, I don't know him either. But yeah, thank you for those, and thank you for your contribution there. And Joe says Marvin Johnson is dangerous down the left. All right. Well, I'll also add that to my list. So we've got plenty of names to look out for tomorrow then. Thank you for your suggestion, your opinions on that one. But yeah, that's Sheffield Wednesday. It's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. They're going to come with a game plan and really be tricky to break down. They've always been an organised side of Wednesday. They've never been an easy side to break down, despite us having a lot of joy when we have faced them. I still think they've always made us work for wins, and yeah, it's going to be a tricky game, but one where we are at home and we can actually, win this game. We're more than capable. Now, we've got rid of Darren Moore, who was the biggest problem, as I said earlier. So yeah, we're going to get onto our perspective now. So as I said, guys, obviously, I do want to trial this tonight. I'm going to kind of put the press conference on, but I'm kind of do it in small clips, and we'll kind of react. We'll kind of, react to it as we go along. So hopefully this works. Hopefully we enjoy this. And if it does feel like it's worked, then we will obviously utilize this in future streams, because at least this just adds something to the preview, really. And And yeah, it's just something new that maybe I kind of thought about. And yeah, so yeah, we're gonna get up the first clip. So obviously, John Worthington will be taking the side tomorrow. We're going to speak about him first before we get to that, actually. So look, John Worthington, club legend, real legend at the club. Obviously, came through the academy setup with us. A very aggressive, passionate midfielder. Such a brilliant player back in his day. To be honest with you, he was one of the first players I remember spotting Town, to be honest. Obviously, I was very young at the time, but I still remember bits that we've kind of looked back on him as well as a player for us. But, if you look back on the history, Jonathan Worthington's name does crop up there. But yeah, he knows the club inside out. He's one of us. He's a fan like us. He loves the club. He knows the players that he's working with for his short period, because obviously the B team and the first team work very closely together. So he knows most of these players. So that helps. I feel like the players do respect him because, like I say, he's a player that has been a big name in our history for us. So look, down to earth, humble, and really honest guy. And, I really loved what I heard in the press conference. You know what? It was so refreshing to be able to watch this press conference. And I just couldn't stop smiling from the moment it started to the end. Even though it was quite short with Worthington's kind of press conference, it just made me smile. The things he was saying all the right things that we want to hear. And look, we're in safe hands with him temporarily for sure. And I've no doubt the players will respond positively tomorrow. I've said it all week. And I think that he has got worked with him for a couple of days now on the training ground. Like we've already mentioned, Aidan, you mentioned it earlier as well, about the players' smiles back on their faces. They look like they're enjoying it, with the inside. They were obviously the inside training video that was posted during the week, and also the photos that was posted as well throughout the week too. It's just so nice to see, isn't it? Because we haven't seen that for a while, and Worthington, will look to have us playing on the front foot. We're going to listen to him anyway. Maybe I should shut up and stop waffling now, but we're going to take a break from me speaking. I'm going to hand over to Worthy, who began by speaking to Catherine Hanna from BBC Radio Leeds. So let's take a look at the first clip and react afterwards.
John, I'm guessing you probably weren't expecting to be sitting in this seat this morning. Just talk me through the last few days and how come you're going to be caretaker manager this weekend?
Yeah, obviously came a little bit out of the blue in terms of myself. I think the conversation.
Is the volume working, guys? Sorry. Can you just put? I don't know if the volume's working. I had a problem with this the other day when I'm connected to my mic. It doesn't always work properly. I'm gonna switch it over actually to just my without my mic at the moment and see if that the press conference. Then let's try this. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, it's just message.
John, I'm guessing you probably weren't expecting to be sitting in this seat this morning. Just talk me through the last few days and how come you're going to be caretaker manager this weekend?
Yeah, obviously came a little bit out of the blue in terms of myself. I think the conversation was on Monday when Mark and Jake asked me to step into the role for the game this weekend. And it's something I'm really looking forward to. I'm excited about the game, and yeah, just looking forward to the weekend.
We are having a few technical issues here, which I do apologise for, guys, but we are having a few technical issues.
John, I'm guessing you probably weren't expecting to be sitting in this seat this morning. Just talk me through the last few days and how come you're going to be caretaker manager this weekend?
Yeah, obviously came a little bit out of the blue in terms of myself. I I think the conversation was on Monday when Mark and Jake asked me to step into the role for the game this weekend. And it's something I'm really looking forward to. I'm excited about the game, and yeah, just looking forward to the weekend.
How do you approach it? Because obviously any kind of managerial change is a difficult one. It's a difficult one for you. It's a difficult one for the players. So how do you handle that over the last few days?
I mean, fortunately, I'm in a good position in terms of I know the players, I know the dressing room, I know the characters in there. So for me, it's just bringing positivity to it, something that I feel I can do, and yeah, just almost just letting the shackles off the players, letting them play free with no pressure, and I think those are the things. And I've seen that in training. Training's been lively, it's been bright. And like I said, I'll go back to the squad in the dressing room. There's some good characters in there, some good leaders, so that always helps.
What's been...
So yeah, that's the first part then. Well, I've got many clips to be fair, but yeah, apologies for the technical issues there. Like I say, it isn't working with my mic in, so I've had to plug my mic out, which is probably why it sounds different, the sound. But yeah, just reacting to that, obviously, yeah, I mean, look, he didn't expect to have this opportunity, obviously, but you know what, he's coming to the first team kind of and really trying to implement what he wants to see from the players. And yeah, he talked about letting the shackles off, as you say, and allowing the players to play with more freedom, and that's such a massive thing, because we've said it on numerous times, haven't we, where, we've just had the handbrake on. We've been so conservative the past few months, and the fact that now the players will have the freedom to go forward, to play their football the way they can and attack the opposition more, then it only kind of bodes well, doesn't it? So yeah, it was a great kind of opening to this press, where obviously, like I say, we could see it as well from the training picture. He mentioned that the training's been lively and he's been positive. It looks lively and positive from the picture we've seen, and obviously from the video that we saw from the club, that obviously the inside training video that they posted. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, or the day before? But yeah, great words from him, and we're going to continue with the press conference now. So let's look at the next section.
What's been the remit from the owner? He's talked a lot about how he wants attacking front foot football. Has he kind of been in your ear to reiterate that point over the last few days?
No, I've not spoke to Kevin directly. The messages obviously come through Mark and Jake. I'm well aware of the expectations in terms of the football. It's how I believe the game should be played anyway, on the front foot, pressing high, and attacking football. That's what the fans want to see. The expectations in terms of the football. It's how I believe the game should be played anyway, on the front foot, pressing high, and attacking football. That's what the fans want to see. That's what I'd like to see as a fan and as a Huddersfield supporter as well.
Games don't come much bigger, really. A Yorkshire Derby at home in what really is a must-win game. We seem to have been saying that every game for the last few weeks. So how do you approach it to make sure you get the 3 points?
I think the key, they're almost wins. Fortunately there's 16, 17 games left, so they're almost wins. We want to go into every game to win the game. That's how I see it, and that's the mentality. And that, with that group of players and the squad we've got, that's the mentality everybody should be going in with. I think from my perspective, it's clear messages, clear roles and responsibilities about how we're going to do that. And then once the players get out there, it's down to them to show that, and I've got full confidence they will.
So yeah, that was the next part. I mean, listen, you just can't stop smiling listening to him, really, can you? He talked about the fact that, he knows what the fans want to see. He likes to play that style of, front foot, attacking, free-flowing football. Like I said, give the freedom to the players to play and allow them to go forward and play there, and with the shackles off, as he said. And I just think, for me, it's one of those where he's kind of come in, he didn't expect to get this opportunity, but he's taking it and doing the best that he can, whilst he's obviously in charge of the first team. But yeah, and I just think the mentality that he loves to win. Now we know the previous guy didn't like to win, yeah, but this guy has a winning mentality. I believe that the players, I know obviously Matty Pearson spoke afterwards, and we'll get into that soon, but I feel like the players have lost that winning mentality because they came accustomed to what Moore was trying to say, and obviously draws were basically wins for Darren Moore, and it was very demoralising for the players. But I think what strikes me here is the fact that he's kind of reiterating messages and kind of not kind of, I just feel like there's just a few things in his press conference where just a few kind of remarks towards Moore of how he was kind of working with a group, and how wrong he was to do so. So that's the interpretation I got. And also, again, we talk about mentality. These fine details, though, are important. The press conference today was obviously first thing. Now, I liked that. I like that for one reason, because the fact is, whether that was requested by Worthington himself or I don't know, but if it was, then that shows he just wants to speak to the media first, and then the focus is on the training pitch, and I like that. I like that kind of approach. I love the approach that was taken there. So, yeah, honestly, great second part. We're going to keep going. I've literally done all of this, but we're just going to keep listening, guys.
You know this football club inside out. Do you think 9-year-old John Worthington would ever have imagined that he would be, albeit in a caretaker role, but effectively manager of Huddersfield Town?
Yeah, and it's I see it as a privilege. I see it as a privilege. I've been connected to the club since I was 9 years old. Come through the academy, captain the team, come back. I've been working across the academy for the last 9-10 years. Now as academy manager, so I know everyone from top to bottom. I've been inundated with support from inside the club and outside. And that's really nice. And to be honest, for me. I look at the fans, and they know what I'm about as a player. They know how I was and gave everything, and I don't see it any different. I'll give everything I can for the game tomorrow, and I'm sure the players will too.
And you mentioned the fans. If anybody knows what gets the John Smith Stadium going, it's you. What is the key to getting everybody on side, to getting that atmosphere, everybody behind you? I think
it's showing passion. It's been on the front foot. It's passing forward. It's running forward, and everyone's showing that they want to fight, they want to care, and showing those kind of traits. And that's what I'll be doing from the touchline. I can't be on there on the pitch myself, but I'll definitely be supporting the players as much as I can.
Yeah, so again, obviously he reiterated that. Look, he knows the club inside out. He already has a connection with the fan base because of what he did as a player for us, and the big presence he was as a player. The players know that as well. The players are aware of what he did for the club as well. And obviously he's still obviously been at the club for a while in the academy setup. So again, he's saying all the right things, playing on the front foot, passing forward, making them runs forward. Everything you want to hear, he's saying. So honestly, I just think it's so refreshing to kind of, hear what he's actually saying in this. But and like I said, he will have got them up for this game. They'll be ready. Come kick off, they'll be ready tomorrow, and they'll be fired up. The fans will be fired up, and it does, kind of bode really well, doesn't it, in terms of the result, the outcome of the game. No guarantees in football, I know that, but if you play that front foot attacking football and you take the game to the opposition, you're at home as well. We have to go for it. So if you do that, then you do give yourself a massive chance of winning a football game. Let's be honest. It's just obvious, isn't it? It's not rocket science. So yeah, love what I'm hearing from him here. So we're going to continue with this, and let's take a hear of what he says next.
How do you think you'll feel then when you walk out onto that pitch just before 3 o'clock and take your seat in the dugout?
Excited. I've had to go on the treadmill every morning for the last 3 mornings because I felt pretty pumped up, to be honest. But excited, and I'm just. There will be some nerves, obviously, but that's only because I want the team to do well.
I don't know whether you believe in lucky omens, but knowing that you were taking charge on Saturday, we dug out of our archives your winning goal against Sheffield Wednesday, March 2005. I don't know whether you have any recollection of that whatsoever, but if you believe in luck, maybe that's a good sign for you.
Well, I'll remember it because it's a collector's item because I didn't score many, so I do remember it, and it's been mentioned a couple of times. Brookie the kit man, he's got a photographic memory, he remembers every single thing for his last 20 years, 30 years at the club, and he did recall it to me, so it was coincidental, and hopefully that'll be the case this weekend.
I don't know how long you're going to be caretaker for, but would you throw your hat into the ring at this stage?
No, I think for me, I've got a fantastic role at the club, a role that I'm really passionate about in terms of the academy and developing young players, and the way Kevin's come into the club and shown his intent with the academy, and really wanting to back that project. I'm really excited with that project, and I'm working extremely hard in the backgrounds around that. So I'll be, yes, absolutely give everything, as I always will do for the club, and whatever I'm asked to do, I will do to help. But my focus, once the next person comes in, will be to slot back into that and help continue to develop club players for the club.
Yeah, so that was another part of the press conference. Look, I think that emotions will be running high tomorrow for him when he steps into that dugout. I think he'll be. I don't know. He strikes me as a person that he said he was excited, but he's also nervous. But now he's only nervous because he wants the team to do well. Of course he does. He's a fan like us. So I thought, I bet there'll be emotions running high tomorrow for sure. Obviously, this opportunity has come unexpected for him. He didn't expect it to happen. I think obviously it was nice that he obviously reiterated his commitment to the academy as well. Like I said, we're not going to make the same mistake that we did under Danny Schofield, where we threw him under the bus, and then he ended up leaving. Obviously, then he had to leave, but he was quite happy in his role prior to that in the academy. But because we threw him under the bus and gave him a job when he was never ready for it, but. It was a big mistake from our point of view. But obviously, I know that was under previous ownership, so that's fair enough. But obviously reiterated that he doesn't put himself in the mix for the job. He always gets asked that, doesn't it? Always gets asked when caretaker managers take over. But so that's kind of the next part. Let's have a look at the next part then.
Terry's in the room next.
Hi, John. Is it helpful to you? Obviously, you know all the players, but particularly those who've come through the academy, like Brodie Spencer and Ben Jackson. Is that helpful to you, knowing those players inside and out?
Yeah, I think so. It definitely helps. I've worked with these players and other players within the squad through the academy for the last 6-7 years. So they know me, I know them, I know what the strengths are, I know what they can offer to the team. But also, apart from probably the newer signings, the latest additions, I've got a good handle on all the players in the first team squad. To be honest.
Are you expecting to get any players back from injury that have been missing in recent weeks at all?
I think, like I said, I think the squad's fairly healthy. I think we've got some good options. I don't see any of the longer term ones coming back this weekend. But like I said, the squad's healthy.
Would it be good for you to get back out in front of the John Smith Stadium crowd, I presume?
Yeah, I can't wait. Like I've said earlier, I know what it means to the supporters. I sit with them every game with my family. So it'd be great to to be in a role where I can really try and help the team.
I appreciate you've only taken it on this week on a caretaker basis, but it was obviously deadline day yesterday. Kevin Nagle said he wanted to get some players in, one more player in, if you possibly could, but didn't happen. What was were you sort of sitting by the phone yesterday, waiting to be briefed, seeing if you had any new players for the squad? How did it go?
No, I think Kevin on Tuesday was pretty clear with his messages around if any additions to the squad. Just working with the squad and expecting that squad to be the same for the weekend.
What sort of improvement, and where do you want to see improvements in the squad this weekend?
I don't know whether it's improvements. I suppose it is improvements in terms of results. We want to win the game.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I think it's more just, like I said, it's taking a bit of the pressure off, letting some shackles off in terms of the lads being a bit freer to attack and show some real intent. And
what sort of challenge are you expecting from Sheffield Wednesday?
I went on Wednesday. I think they're a decent side. The manager's done a good job. My focus is on us.
Yeah, that's all from me. Cheers, John.
Thanks, Steve. Come to Chris.
So yeah, that's the next section. Like I say, we're kind of working through this. But yeah, obviously the team news. Obviously, Helic is touch and go tomorrow, so hopefully he's going to be available. I think Helic's one of those characters that will play. It will take a lot for him to not play. So I think that really, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the team, because he's a warrior. He's a warrior, and I think that he will kind of be available. And like I said, Worthington, as he said, he knows the players. He's got that connection with them. I think it's just one of those where he like I say, it's a caretaker manager, but he's a manager that is respected highly around these parts. So I think that absolutely helps. But yeah, great words from Worthy so far. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a great press conference. Like I say, guys, I am kind of trialing this just to see if this is what's actually going to kind of with this preview, obviously, with getting the press conference, because it kind of just breaks it a little bit, doesn't it? Obviously, it allows for you all to, I don't have to keep waffling on to you guys, but also it just gives a break to just see what is actually said. And I think that what strikes the most out of today is we kind of thought this anyway. I did anyway, but like how unhappy the players were under Darren Moore and how frustrated they were as well. And like I say, it doesn't come as any surprise to me that, because the players clearly want to win. That was reiterated in the Pearson interview, and Worthington's expressed his desire to win, so they're winners in that dressing room. But because of the style of play, it was just impossible to win games. Yes, we got a couple of wins here and there, but we weren't. We were picking up too many draws, and we were losing games when we could have won the game. We turned them draws into wins had we have been more adventurous. But yeah, it kind of struck today. I wasn't surprised. I wouldn't say I was surprised, but the impression and things that I got from it, and I think there's a few questions coming in a minute where it was asked about Darren Moore's style. They are coming in a moment. So it doesn't surprise me, and I think it just speaks volumes, doesn't it? It really does. But yeah, let's go on to the next part. I think I'm ready to get the next part.
Let's get the mic to you, mate, if that's okay. Cheers. Chris from ITV.
Hi, John. You okay? This game's got a lot riding on it. Would you prefer to come into a game that wasn't so much riding on it?
No, not at all. I think it's a great game for us.
Why is that? Why is it a great game?
It's a local derby. It's a bumper crowd. It's a game I believe we can win. So what a perfect opportunity.
You say that, but there is. I mean, it could be a season-defining game in a way, couldn't it, for this football club?
I don't think it's a defining game. I think there's 17 games left, so I don't think it's defining. I think we've been saying for the last few games, we must win at QPR, we must win against Plymouth. So I think for me, every game we go into, we've got to believe we can win, and we've got to go to win, especially at home. And so, like I said, I'm just looking forward to it.
Sheffield Wednesday, a difficult side to approach because they tried different formation. Danny Rose changed it up a little bit, hasn't it? He seems to change it every game.
Yeah, and like I said, he's brought in some good ideas for them. But I think for me, I've given the players simple messages, real clarity on their roles. And I'm sure they'll fulfil that in the game.
Yeah. I think that again, just saying all the right things, isn't he? It's just amazing to hear this. But you reiterate, the mentality of this guy is just incredible. And I think that, if you're hearing, yes, okay, he's only a caretaker manager, but obviously the players will have seen this press conference, no doubt. And if you're hearing things like that from your manager, the positivity that he's bringing to this press conference here, it will absolutely make a massive difference to those players. It'll lift them, of course it will. He's already obviously implemented, obviously told them, clear, concise of what he wants them to do. Clear and concise things that he wants us to implement in the game. That's the best way, I think, in management nowadays. Managers just overcomplicate things to me. Just keep it simple, because simple is effective, very effective. And he's again, he's reiterating all the right messages here. Final minute or so of this press conference now, and then we'll kind of...
result more important than performance in this one?
Results most important, absolutely. If we can get performance as well, then all the better.
Have you changed much since you've come in from what Darren was doing? Or do you expect a completely different approach from what Darren...
I think there'll be a change in mentality.
That it?
Yeah.
Just mentality?
Mentality and how I see the game, with simple messages in terms of with and without the ball. I'm sure the players can deliver that. We've only had them for 2 or 3 days, but like I say, I think for me it's let's see where we go on Saturday with the messages we passed across with our coaching team.
About getting the fan base on board as well, have they got a big role to play?
100%. The players need the fans. Everybody needs the fans, me included. And I'm really hoping they back me and the players for this game on Saturday, because ultimately it's all for the club.
Good luck, John.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So that was what I was talking about. The message about Darren Moore's approach and what's different under the, obviously, and he straight away said mentality. The approach, playing on the front foot, looking to dictate play. So that message, that was a bit of a, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it wasn't a jibe at Moore, but it was a kind of, Darren Moore kind of thing, you've got it wrong kind of thing, you shouldn't have been playing so conservative kind of thing. That's the impression I got. I can't find the word that I'm looking for, guys. But that was the interview. But like I say, how amazing was that? I rate that 10 out of 10 for sure. No cliche. I'm not being very, I'm not, no cliches expected here, but, it's one of those. So we are going to hear from Matty Pearson, but we are going to just speak a bit more now before we do that. I think that listening to Worthington though today has really provided the tonic for tomorrow, hasn't it? It's really, as I said, we have been lifted as a fan base since Moore left, but I think that hearing him speak, obviously Worthington, I think it's just maybe added fuel to the fire even more now, because we'll be up for it tomorrow. There'll be, people will be coming back to the stadium who haven't been for weeks and weeks because of Darren Moore's football. So the stadium will be in a lot positive positive vibes to begin with. Hopefully, we'll stay positive with the result going well. But I think it will. It's felt flat. It's felt very flat around the football club, and like I say, it's bound to do, isn't it? Because football is about winning. Sport's about winning, but obviously we're talking about football. Football is about winning, not drawing, not losing, winning. So when the wins aren't coming, the performances are shocking. The playing style is awful to watch. Formation's completely wrong. Playing players out of position. It's just added more and more frustration each week. And, I'm just glad that yes, people are saying that we've acted a bit too late, and we have, but we're still in an okay position. We're still in a bad position, but we're still not in the relegation zone. So that's something we just need to find. If we can find a few wins now, string a few wins together, then we could find ourselves. Well, I'm pretty confident and positive that that gap will extend, because QPR, for me, look really, really poor to me. I don't see how they're going to get out of it. Sheffield Wednesday, obviously tomorrow, if we win, which is what we aim to do, then the gap increases for them. So I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to be a massive thing for them to get out of it in the position they're in, especially if they lose tomorrow. And Rotherham, I think Rotherham are down, to be fair. I don't think Rotherham will definitely get out of it. So it's looking quite like if we can do that, then we will be able to get away from that zone. Now it's time for the team lineup. So get your team lineup in, guys, because I'd love to hear from you and who you would like to go with. But I'll get my team up. I think this is the team that I went with, for the last game. Obviously, it didn't happen, but I think it could potentially happen tomorrow. So I'm going for, let me just get my thing up here. The look. Here we are. This is my lineup. So get ready. So this is my lineup tomorrow, guys. So obviously I'll talk you through it and kind of give my reasons for this lineup. So I've gone for a 4-4-2. And people will say, oh, that's, you don't often see 4-4-2s maybe in this game nowadays. But just go back to basics. Go back to basics. This formation, I think, suits the players that we have very well, in my opinion. I do. So, like I said, we've got Lee Nichols in goal. Left back of Ben Jackson. Hellick, I was kind of going off the my mindset of Hellick's a warrior. I think he will make the squad. So I know he's 50-50. If he wasn't available, though, and he doesn't make it, I would probably look to put Pearson in there. Or Lees. Now, I don't know. I think I would probably maybe go with Pearson, maybe. Just edging towards Pearson for some reason. So, yeah, Pearson, if Hellick isn't fit. And obviously, Balcott, I think he should be starting because, like I say, he is obviously just come. Well, he hasn't just come in, but obviously he's been in it over a week now and came on against QPR. I don't know why he came on when he did, because that was a poor decision. But anyway, but yeah, that's for me. And Brodie Spencer, we know how good he's been since he's come back from his loan spell at Motherwell. So for me, he has to start. He's been very good. And then third forward, obviously, Sorba Thomas on the right. Yes, on the right, not the left, which Darren Moore seemed to think it was a good idea to put him on the left against QPR, which honestly. I've got Josh Carome on the left there. Matos, I think, has been superb since he's come in. I've really loved seeing him in action. I think he looks great. And he's getting better. He's got so much passion. He gets stuck in, and he's just got a lot to his game that I really admire. I think sometimes he just flies into challenges, which you think he's like, ooh, be careful, you don't want to get a red. But I do like the way he's so committed to the cause, and he's, and they say don't fall in love with loan players, and I think I've already fallen in love with Alex Matos. So it's one of those. It's one of those. And I've got Jack Radoni obviously partnering him. I think that'll be a good partnership there between the two of them. And yeah, Jack Radoni obviously scored against QPR. And Jack Radoni is a player that always tries to make things happen. People have criticised him in the past, and I've seen it plenty of times and said, "Oh, he's not this level and all this." I believe in Jack Radoni. I think he's a quality player. I'm not saying he's reached his best yet. I haven't, no doubt he definitely hasn't. But from what he's producing, he always tries to make things happen, and he does contribute quite a bit. So let's kind of give him credit for that as well. He can be quite wasteful in front of goal. I get that, but I still think there's a player there that can keep going, can reach the potential that I feel that he can reach. So for me, Jack Radoni starts there. And up front, let's go with our attacking approach. 2 up front. Bojan. Like I said, I've spoken so highly of Bojan. Honestly, this guy is a proper striker. A striker that we've been crying out for years. And we've got our man, and I think that he's a real deal. He's a link-up player. The way, obviously I know he hasn't scored yet, but his link-up play, he's had opportunities on goal. Good aerially, good with his feet. I just love it. I just really like him, Bojan. I think he's got all the credentials. Once he gets that first goal, I think we could see him, get a few more in, and it'll give him that boost. But he looks a very confident young man anyway, and I think that he will keep growing in his side. He's still fairly new to the group, but what he's done so far, I really liked. So for me, this guy is going to be huge for us moving forward. And obviously Reece Healy, who was obviously being here slightly less, only just, but there's a player there in Healy. I do believe that. Obviously, I'm not going to judge him based on what we've seen so far. I think from now until the end of the season, I think this is where we start to judge him, because, like I said, I do believe that the manager was holding these players back a lot. And I'm not making excuses. Obviously, Healy had only just come in anyway, so to be fair, that doesn't really apply to him. But from what we saw of him, I'm not going to judge him based off what he was like under Moore, is what I'm saying. I think that we need to just give him a chance and see what he does. But I think there's a player there. I really do. So, yeah, that's my lineup for tomorrow, guys. And, yeah, that's the best lineup we should be going for. But, hey, I'm not the manager, so, I don't know. But that's just my opinion. We're going to get some lineups in. You've got your lineups in, so thank you very much for these guys. So Aidan's gone for a 4-3-3. You've gone for Nichols. You've gone for Spencer, Lees, Balker, and Jackson. So with Hogg, you've gone for Hogg, Radoni and Matos. With Karoma, Radulovic, and Thomas. I like this. I do like this lineup. I know I promise this every weekend, but honestly, I do like this. The thinking behind this lineup. I think, obviously Lees obviously is a good player, but I think he's been a bit off it this season. Personally, for me, I think he just looks a bit off the pace. I don't know. Like I say, you've started with Balka, which I definitely want to see start tomorrow too. Hoggy, I'm not sure he should be starting at this point. I know he's a leader. He's a real leader on that pitch. But if we're talking about, I don't want to say quality, because I think he is a good player, Hoggy. But I just think he gives the ball away too much for me now. So that's why I've kind of put him on the bench. He's a good player to have around the dressing room, that's for sure. He's still there, isn't he? Even if he doesn't start. So, yeah, you've gone for him to start. Radoni, yeah, love it. Matos, yeah. Karoma, yeah. Radulovic, yeah, and Thomas, yeah. So, it's a good lineup. So, big up to you. I love that setup there. HCFCOK says Nichols, Spencer, Hellick, Valka, Jackson, Matos, Kasubu, Thomas, Radoni, Healy, and Radulovic. So, it looks like you've gone for a 4-4-2 as well. Yeah, you've gone for a 4-4-2 as well. So, yeah, nice. I mean, obviously, you've gone for Kasumu. I haven't put him in. and you have gone for you've gone for Kostumba. That's the only difference in this side. But yeah, nice lineup. That definitely, I like that. Joyce is 4-2-3-1. Nichols, Spencer, Lees, Balker, Jackson, with Hogg and Matos as the holding midfielders. Sorba, Thomas, Radone. Then you've put Koroma in, because I've just seen your comment after that. You've missed Koroma out, so Koroma as well. With Radulovic up front. And if Helic fit, I'd put him in for Lees. Yeah, good shout, Joseph. I like that lineup too. The formations are different. I think we've all gone for similar formations, but different. Joseph and Aidan, you've gone for different. HFC OK has gone for the same as me. But yeah, nice lineup, Joseph. I like it indeed. And the United ways in, big up Ryan, seeing Huddersfield let Moore go, and I'm not surprised, to be honest. He seemed pretty clueless. I mean, look, this is an outside point of view, and everybody knew it. We know it. People from the outside knew it. He was pretty clueless. He's not seemed he was clueless, and he was awful. The results, the playing style, everything, it was horrendous. But yeah, big up to you, and thank you for coming in. But we have actually kind of reached over the hour now. I don't want to keep this running too long, but I'm going to kind of score predictions. We're going to do score predictions, but I also did want to play a bit of the Matty Pearson interview for you guys. Probably seen it, but I might just select a few clips rather than do all of them that I kind of put in here. But score predictions, get your score predictions in for tomorrow. I mean, shall we wait and let's hear from Matty Pearson. But yeah, get your score predictions in the chat whilst we play this. But here's Matty Pearson speaking to the media after Jonathan Worthington spoke for the first time as caretaker manager.
Catherine, whenever you're ready.
Thank you very much. Morning, Matty. Nice to see you again. Funny old week. Just talk us through a little bit how you found out about the news that Darren Moore was leaving, and general reaction to that, please.
Yeah, I think we found out probably an hour before it got announced. Obviously, that's football at the minute. I think us as players, we've been there before. This time last year, it was exactly the same situation. So I think we've reacted to it well before, and we have a bit of an idea of what we need to do now and moving forward.
From your point of view, why don't you think it maybe worked out?
I think it was results based, really. I think you can see the lads give everything in the games. I don't think it was for the lack of trying. I think we've give the commitments there, and I think it might just be the game plan on how we approach games. Looking at the results, I don't think us as a club as a whole, I don't think the results have been good enough.
So interesting, to say the least, this start of this press conference, wasn't it, from Matty Pearson, one of our defenders. Obviously we talked about, the approach was completely wrong. Again, a bit of a message towards Moore in terms of, he was far too conservative, pal. You shouldn't have been so conservative. Like I say, the players knew that the results weren't good enough, but Darren Moore kept saying in the media how positive things were and how we were progressing as a team and all this nonsense that he came out with. So the players aren't daft, and the players, ultimately the players they just lost the dressing room, didn't they, really, to be honest. And I'm not surprised. But yeah, he reiterated that in this, and like I say, he said, look, the results have not been good enough, which they haven't, have they? So yeah, let's see what else he has to say.
It's such fine margins, isn't it? You take a late lead away at QPR. Had you been able to hang on to it, could have been a very different story. So it's those sliding doors moments can have such a big impact, can't they?
Yeah, I think that was a key moment at the weekend to obviously go in front and then to concede so late on in such a crucial game. I think that were probably ultimately the biggest problem. So yeah, it's like you said, them fine margins, but I think we need to be in games. I think we need to be more aggressive. I think we need to maybe go for the games a bit better.
So again, the idea that the players knew what they needed to do to win football games, but because the manager was implementing such a horrible approach to games, they weren't able to show that aggression. They weren't able to kind of be on the front foot, go forward more, do all the things that you do to give you a chance, to give yourself a chance of winning. So look, this interview just speaks volumes for what. Like I say, I'm not surprised personally. I'm not surprised that this is all being said. This is all being said, but it just gives us that clarity that the players actually, now he's gone, actually felt very, very similar, if not the same, as the fans did, in terms of feeling flat, not believing in what's happening, not believing in the manager and everything. So. Yeah, this interview is really interesting, but we're just going to try and go into the comments, just have a break from Matty in a minute. But he's great, he's Matty, isn't he? He's great, obviously, proper Yorkshireman. And just honest, brutally honest, open. And what you see is what you get with Matty. He's just a top professional, on and off the field. HFC, you're going for a prediction. We're going to save that. We're going to save that until afterwards. In fact, they're all predictions, but I am going to just say a few hello to Joshua. I hope you're well. Thank you for nipping in tonight. I hope you're doing well, okay, mate, and thank you for tuning in. Aidan says, what I like from Matty there is that he didn't talk about Moore much and he didn't wish him the best for the future. So full credit to Matty Pearson there. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He didn't talk about Moore much, but he also kind of just had a bit of a swipe at him maybe in terms of, we should be playing on the front foot. And, just all these things that had been said in the press conference in terms of too much, the conservative approach. I think we're yet to get to that stage yet when he said that, but we are going to get on to the next part. But yeah, let's go on to the next part.
Yeah, that has been one of the criticisms, that it has been maybe a little bit too conservative. Have you felt that as players as well?
Yeah, different managers have the different ideas, and I think me as a person, regardless of who the manager is, I want to win the game. So going into games, maybe if it's not set up to how you personally think it should be, then obviously it's hard to adjust to. But looking forward now, we're going to go out there and try and win every game we possibly can and put us in the best position possible.
We've just spoken to John Worthington. He's going to lead you on Saturday. And one of the phrases he used a couple of times was shackles off. Has it felt like that in training this week, that there's a bit less pressure, a bit more go out there, do your stuff mentality?
We've been there before. I think we've got to go out there, give everything we've got, every bit of energy, everything, and get people on the ball that we know can make the difference. And I think not having the like you say, the shackles off. I think if we can get the players in the right positions and let them have that freedom to go and attack, that's what we want to be, and we want to be an exciting team.
So again, we just got to that bit about the conservative approach from Moore, and the fact is, what I get from this as well now is that the players didn't buy into what Moore was trying to do. And it's very hard to adjust, he said. They want to win football matches, he reiterated many times. He said that, we need to be on the front foot to do that, to do that. And he's just speaking, he's basically speaking how us fans have felt over the last few months, isn't it, really? And so, obviously, with Worthington as well, he's the same. He said the same feelings of what we felt like over the past few months. So he's just speaking complete sense, and it's brilliant to hear. But we're going to get into the comments, see what else is. Yeah, we'll keep going. So, let's go on to the next part. I will get into your comments, guys. Obviously, not time related in a minute, but Joshua, I will read you. I'm not ignoring you, I promise. But yeah, we will get into those very soon. But let's go. I said I wasn't going to play all this, but do you guys want to see the full press conference? I mean, we've kind of got, how much have we got left now? We've got about 9 minutes left to this press conference. Obviously, we've already seen it, but I can't remember which bits I wanted to maybe put in and which bits I didn't. Anyway, we're going to get into the next part, and yeah, we're not going to play all this, guys. Probably going to wrap up soon, but yeah, just stay tuned for this.
17 games to go. Again, John Worthington felt that no game at this stage is season defining, but it does have again that must-win feel about it with tricky opponents coming up as well. Is there a sense that it is a must-win game on Saturday?
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the QPR game last week. I think any team around us at the minute is a must-win game. Whether it's Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, to be honest, all the games are, but this is more of a 6-pointer. You know what happens if we lose. You know what happens if we win. It makes the gap closer or further apart. So we need to go into this game fully focused to win the game and hopefully make that gap a bit bigger.
And one of those that you approach it, as I say, we return to the shackles off approach. Worst case scenario, if you do lose, hopefully not, but at least know that you've absolutely given it everything. A sort of do or die approach, if you like. Yeah,
I think that even under Darren, I think we still give it everything. Maybe just the approach wasn't quite right. So if we have a different approach and give it everything, hopefully the results are different.
For games like that, Yorkshire Derby, lot riding on it, how much is it about mental strength to see a game over the line?
Yeah, you've got to be mentally right. Being at Huddersfield for a while now, I know what these games mean to the fans, and you go into it and you've got to give every bit of energy you've got into this game because they are tough games mentally. The crowd and the emotion of the day, it does come like weigh you down, but I'm ready to tackle it. I'm ready for it, and hopefully I get to play.
Yeah, so again, he mentioned the word approach, which I found quite interesting again. He's dismissing Moore without actually saying it. I do feel like he is, and full credit to him because, like I said, it's just been going on for far too long. This, as we know, and I just think the players have just had enough, and obviously now they've just been able to, have a reset like we all have, really. He also said about obviously the approach, with the approach being more positive now moving forward. That'll give us the best chance to win football games, which again is true. If I've already said it earlier, but yeah, the team wants to win, but it hasn't been set out to win for months. So look, it's been frustrating for us all, but Matty Pearson is just speaking facts. I just can't get enough of this press conference, so we're going to keep going on, but we're going to play the next part, see what he says.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the biggest frustrations I'm guessing for you over recent weeks is that you've not been able to get out there and take your part because of injury. So how are you feeling now, and are you ready, if selected, to get out there on Saturday?
Yeah, I've had a good few weeks training now, managed to be available for the QPR game, and made the bench, so it's up to Worthy and see what he wants to do, but I'm available, fit and ready to start if needed.
And has it been almost a kind of a bit more fun these last few days? Speaking to John Worthington, he knows this club inside out. He knows what it takes to win. He's got the passion, he's got the enthusiasm. He strikes me as somebody that you would want to play for as a player. Has that kind of sense come across over the last few days in training?
Yeah, he's straight to the point. I actually played with Worthy when I was 19, 20, so I know what he was like as a player, and if we can play like he was as a player, I think it'd be aggressive, front foot, and that's what, me personally, that's what I like football teams to do, be aggressive and on the front foot, so hopefully we'll take that into the games.
Has he changed much then?
He's calmer now. He's a lot calmer, and he's quite intelligent in the football. We've had a few meetings on what we're going to do, and I think he's put his points across really well.
Excellent. Well, look, best of luck on Saturday. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks.
Yeah, you just can't help but smile, can you? Honestly, it's just brilliant, really, isn't it, from Matty? Look, the training side of things, you could tell the training's been really super positive, a lot more positive this week, which again is positive for tomorrow. You know, the build up to games, what you do on the training ground, are the players enjoying it? Yes, not enjoying it too much because you still have to work hard, but they still need to enjoy it to a degree. They can't be flat, you know, like they inevitably have been in training over the past few months. So, yeah, again, under Worthington, very intelligent guy, as he said, you know, got his point across very well. You know, Worthington as a player was that passion, that real passion, full of aggression type of midfielder. And like I said, he's one of us. He's one of us. He's a fan. He loves the football club. And he's Huddersfield through and through. So, yeah, it's really is nice to hear all these. I'm just going to keep playing because I just love it. Honestly, I hope you don't mind, obviously, but we're just going to play it all, to be fair, because we're actually in the last 5 minutes of this, and then we are going to wrap up. But I don't like to go over the hour mark because I think sometimes it can be too long for people to stay on here. But we're going to keep going because I think if I'm loving it, I think I'm sure all you are loving it that are tuned in right now. So we're just going to play it till the end. Let's do it.
Just come to Stephen in the room.
I'm Matty. You've been at Huddersfield sort of 3.5 years now. This will be your 6th manager coming in. When you've had sort of as heavy a turnover as that, does it sort of make you reflect on things as a player, as a squad?
2.5 years, not 3.
Sorry, 2.5. Apologies, mate.
Yeah, I'm coming up to the end of the season. It'll be 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been difficult. My first season here, we had a great season. But then since then, I think it's been a chop and change, and we've had to adapt every couple of months. Every 6 months has been an adaptive period and unsettling. And I think the lads have reacted really well. To be fair, to have that many changes and produce what we have produced, it is challenging. But look, we're ready for it. The good thing about it all is we've been there before, so it's not a new situation for us. Us experienced lads have been through. The lads have been here 3 or 4 years. They've been through them periods. So I think we're pretty adaptive and we know what we need to do. Just get out there and do what we did last year and knuckle down and work out.
Yeah. So again, obviously Matty Pearson there, just speaking about the game and. So they can't believe he's nearly been at the club 3 years. That has flown by, hasn't it? But obviously, when he came in, he was fantastic. Obviously, had a great start. Obviously, especially obviously getting to the playoff final and things and champions. So yeah, he's had a great, obviously, up and down roller coaster for us. But like I say, I'm a big fan. I'm not just saying it, but I am a big fan of Matty. I think he, really resonates with a lot of people, very much working class in terms of where he's come from and the way he plays. He's just really aggressive. He loves to play aggressive and, get stuck in. And like I say, he's just a professional, a top professional on and off the pitch, really. So full credit to him. But yeah, let's have a look at what else he has to say, guys. But yeah, thank you for sticking back. Last few minutes now of this.
As you say, in many ways it's sort of very similar situation to last year, but in other ways, it's it's not like you're going out and losing every week. It's been mostly draws. Actually, have been quite costly for Darren. Does that sort of give you hope as a squad that it's sort of smaller changes now can help you turn those draws into wins?
Yeah, like you say, even in the last couple of games, I think we've had opportunities to win the game. It's about taking your chances, scoring the goals, keeping a clean sheet, which we haven't done for a few games. So first things for me as a defender is probably to keep a clean sheet, and gives us the platform to win the game. That's his aim this weekend, obviously, clean sheet and score goals.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming back at a time, albeit Worthy said they're going to assess Michal for the weekend, but renewed competition at centre back. You, Leesy, Rodinho's come in as well. Brody has come back in and showed he can do a job there. I mean, it's a good thing, really, isn't it? I mean, remember a few years ago, you were it was 5-3, wasn't it? And hopefully some of the situation now.
Yeah, it's always good to have them bodies around, and if someone like Helik's got a bit of a problem this week, I don't know if he's going to be available or not. It's touch and go, so at least we know we've got someone who can step in. Whether it's me, Rodinho, or whoever, it's better to have the players than not, and have the youth team involved. At least we know we're going to be competing in every game.
Do you relish that competition as well as a professional?
It's part of football. I think you see it at the top clubs. They all have numerous amount of players in each position, so it's just part of football, and that's part and parcel.
Yeah, so again, obviously, Matty just speaking facts, man, and obviously, the competition in that area in defence is really positive. Obviously, we've got, players back now. I don't see Brody Spencer as centre half, really, as one of the centre halves that is being deployed in under Moore, but that's just my opinion. But obviously, we've got Balker at centre half, we've got Helik, we've got Pearson, we've got Lees. We've got a lot of depth in that area, which obviously is good. I think, like I said, the addition of Balker as well has really helped us with that depth. Just really, really positive from Matty, and I just think that he's just speaking what we all feel like. So we're going to go into the final few parts of this now, guys. Let's see. Keep forgetting what he said. I'm just so tired, but like I said, I've watched it today, but I kind of forgot what he says.
Have you heard as a squad sort of from the chairman at all this week? Any taken the message either directly or sort of sent through people?
We've not heard from the chairman. We've heard from the sporting director and the chief executive, obviously, regarding what's happened this week, and Worthy taking charge. So since the news broke, Worthy's put on the sessions and got us in the right frame of mind, ready for the weekend.
What's the message been from Mark then to the squad? Was that just a briefing on what's been happening?
Just a standard briefing, pretty much. You know all the details, and just that I'm more concerns who's going to be taking the team, and Worthy's taking the team, and I think it's been pretty straightforward, really. I think there's no grey areas. We know who's in charge. Worthy's stepped up and he's going to lead the team, and I think it's the right decision.
Fantastic. Cheers, mate. Best of luck.
Cheers, Stephen.
Yeah, so like I say, just telling the media how it's kind of panned out, so nothing really much to add there. But yeah, final part, and this is from Chris Dork from ITV Calendar News.
Just a couple from me, Matty. It sounds like from what you've been saying that it was pretty frustrating for you under Darren Moore. Is that accurate?
Obviously, when you're drawing games, I don't think it's ideal. I think everyone wants to win games. I think if you look at our past, the results of too many draws, and I think we can't draw our way out of the situation we're in. We need to start winning games.
Is that tough when you're watching on and you're seeing something that you're not on board with?
Yeah, I feel in certain times we maybe could have gone for the win. Bit concert, probably we were scared of giving up a lead or losing the game, and sometimes in football you got to take risks, and I like taking risks, but that's my opinion.
because there's a lot of, there's a lot to be said for being pragmatic, isn't there, in certain situations? But you just want to attack, you want to play attacking football, you want to entertain the fans. Is that what all players want to do?
Yeah, pretty much. I think my main aim when I step foot on that pitch is to win games. It's however way, shape or form, I want to win them football games, and to play for draws and stuff is not the way I want to be.
So yeah, that is the penultimate part of this. But yeah, Pearson, again, this was quite an interesting part. Obviously, now I was asked about, the players were frustrated, again emphasising that point. Even emphasised again the fact that he felt personally that, there was moments where we could have gone forward and been less conservative to win games. Again, there was clear unrest in that dressing room, wasn't there? And I just feel like this is kind of coming to the forefront now, kind of in terms of knowing about it, but we kind of could guess that it was likely to be like that, because when you look at the fans and the players, if as fans we're feeling demoralised and flat and all these things and not very good, then the players are going to feel the exact same. And I think that's kind of speaking volumes in this, how he's, what was said today in terms of that. It just proves it. It proves that the approach, again, he said the approach word again. Yeah, the signs that, it's obvious, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to listen to the final part now of Matty Pearson's interview. But yeah, we're at the end.
I suppose both tangibly but psychologically as well, a win tomorrow would be absolutely huge, wouldn't it, for this football club, when you think about the gap it puts between you and Wednesday as well?
Yeah, we don't look too far into that. We mainly focus on the game ahead and how we're going to affect Sheffield, and it is going to be a tough game. I think they're a good team. I think the new manager there's got them in some decent form, so we need to be on our game. There's no two ways about it. We need to be on it. We need to have a game plan, and we need to give everything we've got.
And as a Yorkshire lad, the Yorkshire Derby's mean a little bit more.
Yeah, obviously. I growing up, I've seen all these Leeds Huddersfield games and all them, and Sheffield. I can remember all the games, and I think it just gives that little bit of edge, and I relish that opportunity to play in them games, and hopefully I do. We don't know the team yet or what have you, but yeah, it does put a bit of an edge onto it.
Good luck with it. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, that is it, guys. That's obviously the press conference completed. Now, like I said, do let me know. Maybe I should next time just kind of pick out the key parts of the press rather than doing it all, because I know it can be quite long. But yeah, obviously, maybe implement this in next preview shows, but we'll see. I think maybe I might do less videos and obviously just pick out a few clips that I want to put into the stream. But yeah, obviously, really positive words from both, and we're ready to go tomorrow. But the score predictions time, guys. I know we've kind of been listening to that for a while, so yeah, let's have a look. For me, let me kick things off, and I'll go to the comments. I think we will win this game. I do, and I feel a lot more positive and optimistic ahead of the game, because it's hard not to with the boost and the. I don't think this group is as bad as what it's been showing. Personally, I think if you get the approach right and you let the players play with freedom, I think the results will come. So, for me, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I think it's going to be a clean sheet. I'm going to go for 2 goals. I'm going to go with Bojan to get 1. And I'm going to go with... I think Radone. I was back Radone, but I think Radone will get another goal too. So Bojan and Radone for me. But yeah, 2-0 my prediction. HFC OK has gone 3-1. Nice one. So you don't think the clean sheet, but you still think 3 goals. Nice. Aiden's gone for a 3-0 Huddersfield win. Goal scorers for Radulovic, Koroma, and Redone. Nice. 3-0 on the clean sheet. Definitely love that. We'll be very happy walking away from the ground if that happens. Joshua, I've kind of said hello to you earlier on. Yeah, we said that earlier as well. Incident last night. Statement that's come out from the league about the incident last night, which might mean some bans being put in place or fines the players of my team and the opposition players. Oh, really? Well, that'll be interesting to see what happens there then, Joshua. But yeah, thank you for letting me know. Joseph's gone for a 3-0 win as well. I love the positivity, guys. We're all feeling positive tomorrow. It's great. You've gone for a Redoni goal, Bojan and Sorba. Nice. Up the town, he says. Nice one. I like it. And we've got Brad in, who, if you're still here, is a Sheffield Wednesday fan, guys. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think 2-1 Wednesday, but I hope both clubs stay up. So you think you will win tomorrow? Interesting. But yeah, like I said, may the best team win. But thank you for tuning. Thank you for tuning in and nipping in to say hello and get your thoughts on the game. But yeah, big up to you. But yeah, like I said, both clubs hopefully stay up. But yeah, I'll reiterate that point. But yeah, thank you for that, mate. But yeah, we've reached the end of the preview. Like I said, the game is set up nicely for tomorrow. I was going to do a bulletin kind of thing, because obviously there's been a bit of new club news about certain things. Obviously, Kyle Hudlin's gone out on loan, hasn't he, to Burton Albion. I think a few others have gone out on loan. Some of the youngsters have gone out, which, again, hopefully they do well on their loans. And, yes, they've done the memorial, haven't they, at the stadium now, which I thought was a lovely touch, actually, remembering all the the Huddersfield Town fans that are sadly no longer with us. But I've got a picture here, actually. I must have forgot to put it on. Wait, it's here, look. And, this is the memorial now at the club. There's once a terrier, always a terrier, it reads. I think it's a really nice memorial garden. Now, kind of gives town supporters a chance to, kind of a dedicated space to visit and remember, terriers who are sadly no longer with us. Apparently it was inspired by the passing of Huddersfield Town fan Darryl Hobson, who, obviously we all know him very well, obviously followed the team up and down the country in the cowshed as well. He was in the cowshed, and he sadly passed away after his long fight with cancer, which it was such a heartbreaking story, really. But fundraising was begun by ex-chairman Dean Hoyle and his wife Janet. So they cycled, didn't they, from Wembley to Huddersfield, 211 miles. A small group in memory of Darryl ahead of the playoff final, if you remember, when we got to the playoff final. So it was opening ceremony overseen by club ambassador Andy Booth and club chaplains Dudley Martin and Phil Gedde. The official ribbon was cut by Darryl's sister Chelsea, with family members, loved ones and colleagues attending of those who had been initially named on our wall of remembrance. Alongside a plaque honouring the memory of Darryl, his name is joined by various other names there. Emma Jane Calderwood, Eleanor Haig, Lacey O'Brien and Jacqueline Sykes. So it's overlooking our home at the Johnson Stadium from a really nice vantage point by the river path leading up to the St Andrews Road car park. I'm sure everybody will know it well if you've been to the stadium. So the path is located opposite the players' entrance on the course stand lower tier. Like I say, it's an enclosed space open to all on both match days and throughout the week. The garden is secluded by a metal instalment that reads, "Once a terrier, always a terrier." So I thought that was a really nice touch, actually, to see this. And I think it was be nice to have that kind of, place where we can go and kind of remember, Terriers fans that are no longer with us. But yeah, I thought it was a really nice touch from the club, that. But yeah, that's it from me, to be fair. We've kind of gone on longer than I wanted to, really. But obviously, we have put in the full press on as well for you guys to enjoy. So that's why it's gone on too long. Fiona's in. She says 1-1. Interesting. Well, welcome in, Fiona. I haven't seen you before, but welcome on in. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that score prediction there. Great stream, Ryan. I always enjoy your videos, and let's hope it's a positive weekend for Town up the Town. Yeah, well, Josie, thank you very much for your contributions tonight and your support, and I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's what counts. You guys make the channel what it is, so I'm glad that you all enjoy my content. And let's hope it is a happy weekend for once. When was the last time we had a happy weekend? I can't remember the last time we had a happy weekend, to be fair. So it'll be a nice change if we can come away with a positive result, win, and we'll be happy this weekend. But yeah, up the Town indeed. Question: do you think a new manager is going to be in the crowd tomorrow? I mean, it's hard to tell, really, Joseph. You'd like to think that that he potentially might be. Just depends how far they are from completing the move for the manager. I've seen Steve Cooper's name, kind of mentioned around on social media today, which I thought was interesting. So, is Steve Cooper actually going to come to the club? That would just be incredible if we could actually get him, because that would be a massive statement in 10. Like I say, the most expensive manager that's been talked about in terms of wages. But it'd be really ambitious to bring him in. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm not getting my hopes up, but potentially I've seen a few more people mentioning his name. So yeah, I'll have to see. But it potentially might be, I don't know. But I will say, we need a manager in by Monday, Tuesday. There's no excuses. We need to get another manager in, and quickly. So, and that'll have given them a week or so to get the new manager in. So that's plenty of time. So yeah, I really do think there should be an announcement Monday, Tuesday, and I think there will be, to be fair. So we'll just have to wait and be patient and see who it is that's going to come in. But yeah, Ian says, yes, again, another brilliant stream by yourself, mate. Loved every second of it. Always special to watch up the Town and Worthington's Barmy Army. Indeed. Well, thank you, Aidan, for dropping it and showing your support as you always do. Really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it again. Yeah, obviously, I appreciate you. And it's special to watch. That's such a compliment. But yeah, up the Town, and definitely John Worthington's Barmy Army, indeed, for the game tomorrow. So yeah, but yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been great to speak with you all tonight. Thank you to everyone that's come in. Like I said, please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you are new, and comment your thoughts down below if you are watching on playback. Like I said, I like to. I know some people can't always catch it live. I always say this every week, but they can't always catch it live. So if you do want to comment your thoughts on the game and what you think ahead of tomorrow and your score predictions, feel free to post them below. But yeah, also you can find me on my socials, HDFTV8 on Instagram and X, or Twitter as I still call it. Yeah, I still call it Twitter. It'll always be Twitter to me. But yeah, when are we gonna? We might be doing some content tomorrow, round the ground potentially. If there's interest with the fan cam situation, I might be able to get a few fan cams in, or maybe just one or two. We'll see. More content, obviously, over the weekend. I'm not sure, but obviously I'm going to do kind of a review of the transfer business that we've done in January, kind of give it a rating out of 10. So I'll probably do a video on that at some point over the weekend. And we'll be back on Monday night. You know the time, you know when. We'll be back on Monday night for the review, hopefully, with big smiles on our faces, and talking about a fantastic performance by the Terriers and a win, a very good win, with a couple of goals and a clean sheet. That'll be the perfect thing to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But I feel very happy. I feel very buzzing for tomorrow. It's great, refreshing to feel that way after such a long, demoralising last few months. at the football club. So I know we've all felt like that as well. So it's just nice to have that change in feeling, and so bring it on. So yeah, like I say, big up to you all for watching. Thank you all for your support. I'll be back very, very soon. Have a good rest of the weekend if I don't see you around. And as always, up the town, John Worthington's Barmiani. Good night, God bless, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care, everybody.